Hey beauty queens, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a little longer than majority of my videos that you guys have seen, but this one is very detailed. You will definitely be able to do this install after you watch this video. And you can go back just in case you feel like you may have missed something, or you're not sure of something, or you just want to see it again to make sure you're doing it right. You definitely will be able to go back to see that. So I am doing a closure quick weave in this video. So what you're going to do first is you're going to braid down your client's hair. The braids do not have to be super small. Don't, make them extremely big either. But the thicker the density of the hair, the smaller the braids. So think of it like that. If the person's hair is really, really full, of course, you're going to have to do smaller braids, smaller sections, because you don't want it to be bulky. But if the person's hair is kind of thin, you can make the density of the braids a little fuller. Everything is braided down. I slicked back her edges with the yellow got to be glue in the yellow bottle. And now I'm going to cover everything with the black wrapping strips. We are going to be using weave glue to do this. That is what a quick weave is. So I have to make sure that everything is secure and there is a type of barrier between the glue and her hair. You do not want your client to have glue on their hair. Now you're going to take your wig cap and put your wig cap over your wrapping strips. You want to make sure you bring the cap as close to the front as possible because you're going to need that so you can do your ball cap method. So pull it as far to the front as you can. And then after you do that, you're going to sew all around the perimeter. You're going to sew through the cap. You're going to sew through the wrapping strips. And you're going to sew to the braid so that everything is secure on. Please make sure you do not sew where your closure is going to be, because you do not need that part to be sewn down because you need it to be flat. So do not sew the part where your closure is going to be. If you can't eyeball it, you can make 2 markings on each side by placing your closure where it's going to be and then mark where the closure stops so that you do not sew down that area. Now you're going to cut away all of the excess wrapping strip from around the perimeter of the head. Whatever it is that you can see, you can get rid of it. Do not cut your cap because you're going to need that for your bowl cap method. Just get rid of the extra wrapping strips that is surrounding the head. Now you're going to put your cap back in place. After you do that, you're going to spray it with your Got to Be Freeze spray so that that part can stick in place. And then I'm going to go over it with my blow dryer so I can cut around it. And that's the part that I'm going to use as the ball cap and go underneath my lace. Now everything should be dry, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut off your excess cap. You're going to cut all the way around the perimeter where the excess cap is. Everything is sewn in place, so it's not going to affect your install. Just get rid of it all the way around. Make sure that your ball cap is secure in place before you cut. Apply your concealer so it can match your client's skin tone and it can look like a scalp after you put the lace on and you start to part. Now you're going to spray your cap with some Got to Be Freeze spray. You just want to use that for added security. It's going to make it a little sticky, which is going to make it easier for you to stick your tracks onto the cap. So we are using the Janet Collection Melt 100% Natural Virgin Human Hair. It's a body wave texture, 3 pieces, and the 4x5 HD free part closure. I already bleached the knots on it. I am going to cut the side tabs off of the closure just so that it can be as flat as possible. So as you can see, this is what the closure looks like. It looks really natural. It's going to look so good when we put it on. I'm also going to be using the Esha primer and the Esha lace bond. So you want to go ahead and you want to clean your client's hairline and you want to apply the primer. So I sprayed the primer into a paper towel, or you can use cotton ball, whichever one you prefer. And you're going to add that. That is going to protect your client's hairline. So you apply that. And then after you do that, I apply the lace bond with my finger when using this particular glue. You just want it to be as flat as possible. You're going to use as many layers as you need for you and your client to be secure so that it can last. It is a quick weave, so it's not going to be coming off at night. So you want to have the most security as possible. So I'm applying it with my finger, and then I'm going to start my first track because I want to allow that to dry. You do not use these pieces. Like, they do not make or break your install. So you do not need the side tabs of the closure. So don't be scared to cut them off. It's completely fine. Just when you're sewing, be extra careful if you do decide to cut them off, not to snag on the lace. So you have to be gentle because the lace is really thin. So you just want to make sure that it's secure, but don't pull too hard. I'm going to be using the Esha Weave Bonding Glue to bond our tracks to our cap. I'm going to put the first track on while I'm waiting for the adhesive to turn clear. I am going to start, I always do this. You know, when the wind blows, you don't want your edges to be out. So I always make sure that there's a track that goes around the perimeter of the head first. So I'm going to do one side to the back. And then after I get my closure on, I'm going to do the second side to the back. So you'll understand what I'm saying right now. So this side, I'm going to place it in front. And I'm going to bring it all the way around her head. And I'm going to stop a little after the nape area. I'm applying one more layer now. And then after that layer dries clear, I'm going to apply the closure. So you want to apply your lace right where your glue starts. So where you see the hairline started on the lace, that's where you want to apply the lace onto the glue. So I'm not going to glue the closure around the whole thing. I'm going to sew the rest of it. So I'm going to sew one side and then I'm going to cut the thread and I'm going to sew the other side so that it's flat. When I get to the other side, I'm going to be pulling with a little bit of tension to make sure that the closure is as flat as possible. You can have your client hold it so it does not pull back. You do not want to pull on it. So don't pull too hard because it will make your closure slide back. So make sure you're sewing it in place. Don't pull it to the back because you don't want to have that pulling on the front hairline where your lace is at. Everything is secure in place. You see how I'm tugging on it? It's not going anywhere. Everything is secure. You want it to be secure. You shouldn't have any buckles. You shouldn't have any dents, any of that. I did not realize that I was not recording, but this track is from this side of the closure to the nape area on a little past the nape area on the other side, just like I did the other one that you saw me do a few minutes ago. So you do the same thing on this side, and then after that you're going to fill everything in. So you're going to do your track from side to side. I'm cutting my tracks as I go. I don't know if there's anybody who keeps the tracks and just folds them. Me, I don't. So I'm going to keep on going until everything is closed up. I forgot to tell you to add your elastic band. So you're going to add your elastic band before you start to glue your tracks onto the rest of the quick weave, so that it has time to sit on it so that it melts into the skin. So now everything is all in. We don't have any gaps. We don't have anything like that. So what you want to go ahead and do now is pin everything up or clip everything up out the way so you can take your elastic band off. Look at how clean and natural this looks. Here's a closer view, and we're not even done yet. I'm going to unravel this. I'm going to show you how it looks when it's parted. I did not pluck this lace. This lace came like this. I did not pluck it. So we're going to use two things. We're going to use the scissors to cut in the middle, and then we're going to use the eyebrow razor to cut our lace. The scissors tends to give it too sharp of a cut, like too sharp of a straight line. So if you use the eyebrow razor, that will help you with that. It'll make it, give it some ridges. It won't be completely straight, and it'll give a more natural look. If you don't want no baby hairs, you can skip this part. But if you do want baby hairs, you're going to pull your baby hairs out now. You still will have to tie it down even if you don't want baby hairs, because you still want, now that you cut the lace, you want it to really melt into the skin after you put the elastic band on one more time. But if you do want baby hair, pull your baby hairs out now. Now I'm using a Nairobi foam wrap, and I'm going to go in with my blow dryer after that to get everything flat. So you're going to remove your elastic band now. What I'm doing is I'm applying the wax stick so that I can get the flyaways away. And then I'm going to cut my baby hairs and form my baby hairs. I'm only going to use Got To Be Free spray. I'm going to spray it onto my baby hair brush. And that's what I'm going to use to get the baby hairs down. I'm not putting the elastic on this time. I'm going to use a regular scarf this time. So you want to tie everything down and then you're going to finish styling. I love layers. It gives good body and it just looks really natural. So I'm putting layers in her hair. Also, what I used out of the pack, I had 2 packs of this. So I used 2 22-inch bundles and I used 2 20-inch bundles. You do not have to use 4 bundles. It's completely up to you. Me, I wanted it to be really full, so I used 2 and 2, but it's completely up to you. You can use the 18, 20, 22 that actually comes in the pack. Or if you want to do what I did, you can, but you do not have to. It's completely up to you. I applied some Bio Silk because I'm about to do pin curls. Whatever you use, it's up to you, but I really love to use Bio Silk. So I'm putting Bio Silk on everything, and then I'm going to do a pin curl. Oh my God, I just love it. Look how shiny it is. Wait till we take it down. It's going to look even better. Look at the part. I have not plucked this at all. I have not done anything to the closure but lay it down. That is it. Okay, guys, that is a wrap on our closure quick weave. We use Janet Collection Melt 100% natural virgin human hair, Body Wave, 222 and 220-inch bundles with the 4x5 HD free part closure. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Janet Collection on Instagram as well, and I will see you guys next time.